Hello everybody out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I am back with another book haul for you guys. Now, I know I just posted a book haul not that long ago, but I would like to clarify that it is because I took forever to edit it, not because I accumulated this many books within a couple week period, although that wouldn't be unreasonable for me because right now I am stress buying books like crazy, and you know what, I'm okay with it. Like, it's a great way for me to deal with my anxiety, and I have accepted this about myself. But I would just like to say that that last one that I filmed, I actually filmed back in July, and we are now at the beginning of October, so it has been a hot minute. I just didn't edit it in forever, and that was my bad. So I do have quite a few books here that I'm going to talk about. Some of them I have already read, some of them I'm so super excited to read, but honestly, I think I have a good stack and a little bit of diversity in here too, so let's jump into the books. So I'm gonna start off with the one that is so gorgeous and I'm so excited to have it, but it might not be as exciting for you to see it because I haven't taken it out of the package, and that is The Way of Kings leatherbound edition. It's gorgeous. I mean, you can see the edges here. They are so pretty. They're stunning. I mean, it has texture to it. It's so pretty, but I am just so scared to take it out of its package. I actually participated in the Kickstarter for these, so I was sent these as part of the package that I purchased. It even has a little attention over here. It's like, your fingers and lotion and sweat and hand sanitizer can rub off the foil. I'm like, oh, like, are you trying to scare me? Are you trying to freak me out from touching these books ever? Because apparently it works. They are still in the plastic wrapping, but I love these. I am so excited. I want to get all of this from my archive in these sets, even though it's a little bit excessive, and I know that. I can't help it. It brings me joy, and when these were delivered, I screamed. My husband was thinking I was a little bit crazy, but I am just so beyond excited to add these to my bookshelf with the plastic on them. So while we're at it, why don't we just keep going with special editions, and I'm going to start talking about box books that I recently acquired. First, we're going to talk about The Poison Heart. This is by Kaylin Bayron, and this is an Owl Crate book, and this one also still is in plastic. Crazy. This one is just because I haven't taken it out of the plastic because I'm really not all that interested in this book. Honestly, when I first got it, I thought this was the sequel to Cinderella is Dead because the cover looked fairly similar to it. I do not think that is the case though. I honestly could be wrong. I don't know. I don't even know if it's by the same author, but I do really like the cover. If you look at it, oh, you know what? Let's just pull the plastic off. Ooh, so this is about a girl who has magic where with a single touch she can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blooms. That sounds kind of cool. Oh, ooh, I really like under the dust jacket. We got some foiling on the cover. We got art on the reverse of the dust jacket, which I'm not gonna lie, I think I might flip the dust jacket around and put that art on the outside because I really like it. But I'm just not super interested in this book. It just didn't grab my attention when I was first seeing people talking about it when it was coming out. So I'm probably not gonna read this anytime soon. I might need to do a month like Jessie and Sophia are doing and just read all my unread BookBox books, but it's getting out of hand, so that might have to be like a 6-month read. Next, we have another Owl Crate book, and this one I am pretty excited to read, and that is A Lesson in Vengeance. This is by Victoria Lee, and again, I don't know what exactly this book is about, except that this is dark academia, and I'm kind of getting into this dark academia vibe. I have a friend named Angela, and we are going to be reading a bunch of dark academia. We're going to be doing one a month, and this one I think is going to have to go on the list. I really like this version from Owl Crate. I'll put the original version over here so you can check it out, but I like this light and the purple. It's really nice. Plus we have some silver sprayed edges, which I do like the gold or silver sprayed ones. I think it's so pretty. And then under the dust jacket we have art, we have foiling. It's a pretty cool book. I am super excited to get to it, and I think it's perfect for spooky season, but I'm probably not going to get to it till later because, let's be honest, my October is out of control and I have so much going on and I'm just not going to fit this in, but I am pretty excited to get to it. It's like a YA dark academia. I think it has some good romance going on too, so yeah, I'm really excited for this book. Next, we have an Illumicrate, if I'm not mistaken. How do I not remember who they're from? Like, this is ridiculous. But I think this one is an Illumicrate, and it is The Devil Makes Three by Tori Brovolino. This one is another dark academia, which, yes, awesome. Give me all the dark academia books. This one follows two students who accidentally, I think, let something out of a book or somehow make a deal with the devil or release a demon, and that's kind of where the story goes. I like this cover. I think it is so pretty, the kind of marbling look to it. And again, we have some awesome art on the cover of the book, and we have sprayed edges. So I really am liking the amount of changes and the amount of like special things that the book boxes are doing with their books, and this one just looks really good. It looks short and quick, and if I have time in October, I would love to squeeze this one in, but I just don't have high hopes about that. Next is one that I was so excited to receive, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is the 10th anniversary special box from Illumicrate, and oh, it's beautiful. Look at the cover. It's stunning. We have some sprayed edges, so it just kind of has the, I don't know, the striping from maybe the tent from the circus on there. I'm not quite sure on that. But we have Under the Dust Jacket, naked hardback art. We have, ooh, I didn't even notice this. The circus arrives without warning. It is simply there when yesterday it was not. I love that, putting the quote on the spine. That's really cool. Let me see if there's anything else about this book that I didn't notice. Putting it back on. Oh, I do. Okay, I absolutely love this. This is something that I think should be done in all the book boxes, and that is the letter from the author is actually put into the book so we don't lose it. So this is a letter from Erin Morgenstern put into the book, the special edition. It's also signed by her in there as well, but oh, I love this book so much, and I had to get a special edition of it. I wanted a hardback of it, and there was just the paperbacks when I was buying it, and so I'm so excited to add this to my collection. And the last book box book is the Illumicrate from September, and I think this might be one of the most beautiful books that I own. I am in love with it, and I'm not going to be reading this edition because it is so gorgeous, and that is Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. Look at this edition of this book. I am just, I love it so much. It's stunning. It's so gorgeous. Look at that. The spine is so pretty. And okay, you have to look at the edges. Like, look at that. Oh, it's so stunning. But wait, there's more. Oh, look at underneath on the naked hardback. It is so pretty, and we have it on the back too. I love it, guys. I am so excited to have this book. Like, I mean, I'm excited to read the book, but I'm just excited to have this edition of the book, to be honest. Come on, go on there, don't break. And yeah, it's signed by the author. It has a letter from the author, but it's just so pretty. It's gonna look so pretty on my bookshelves, and I am so excited about this. This is J. Kristoff's newest release, and I believe it follows a man who is the last of his kind. He has some sort of special magic, and they live in a world where it's like eternal night, and the vampires are trying to take over and kill off humanity. I think this should be awesome. I am really excited to get to it, but mostly I'm really excited to just own this version of it. Next, I'm going to talk about some books that were sent to me from the authors. These are indie published books, and the authors reached out to me and asked me if I would accept a copy and talk about it on my channel. And obviously, I don't know when I'm going to be getting to all of these, but I am excited to be able to mention them now in this book haul, so that if you guys are interested in them, you can go and pick yourself up a copy. But the first one I was sent is Dead Boy's Game and the Broken Vow by A. David Singh. This is the first book in the Magic Rome universe, and in this book, there is a magical competition that takes place in ancient Rome-esque inspired fantasy world, and I'm really interested to read it. I really like historical fantasy books, so I have high hopes for this. And of course, I love competitions. I love magical competitions. They're just something I am always going to enjoy. Like, I like the Hunger Games. I like Red Rising. I love those competitive atmospheres, and I think it really makes the book very exciting for me. So yeah, plus it is fairly short, so I should should be able to read it in not too terribly long. But yeah, thank you so much to the author for sending this to me, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. The next book that was sent to me from the author is Gawain by J.P. Harker, and he was so nice and sweet. He like signed and personalized it for me, so I'm really excited about that. This book is an Arthurian retelling, so this takes place in like they're trying to establish Camelot, or Camelot's already there. I'm not positive which one, but we follow this character named Gawain who wants to be a warrior of Camelot, and he is kind of in this struggle against a chieftain from the north, and Merlin is involved in it. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think there was a lot of research done into this time, so there's a lot of like historically accurate things in there, as well as obviously it's a fiction book, so there are going to be other things in there as well. But I do think that a lot of history is in here, and I'm really looking forward to that. I do want to read more historical fiction, and I do love Arthurian retellings. They're something that I really tend to enjoy a lot. I like that time. Plus Merlin, a little bit of magic thrown in there. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So thank you again to the author for sending this my way. Next, let's talk about the graphic novels that I acquired. First, we have Monstrous Volume 4, The Chosen. This is obviously the 4th volume in the Monstrous graphic novel series. I have been reading and loving the series so much. I was actually supposed to read this book in September. It was on my TBR, did not get to it, but I still am really excited to continue on with this series. It's an adult high fantasy graphic novel series that follows this girl who has these magical powers within her, and she is trying to figure them out, figure out how to control, use them, and also figure out what happened to her mother, get revenge. It's a very complex world, and I love it, and I love the art style. I don't really love the cover of this one, but let's see if we can find, like, here's some pretty art so you can kind of get an idea of the style. I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with this series. Hopefully not too long, maybe November, maybe December, but yeah, I don't want to forget too much from this series because there's a lot going on. Next, I picked up Sandman volumes 2 and 3. I really enjoyed the first Sandman graphic novel. This is by Neil Gaiman, and it is a graphic novel series that starts out with this kind of secret society getting together and performing this ritual to try to capture death so that they could kind of ask boons from death, ask to be immortal, those types of things. But instead, someone else is captured, and we kind of go from there. It's dark, it's very creepy vibes. I really loved it. I did not love the art style, which I talked about a little bit in my wrap-up when I talked about the first book, but I really love the story. I think it's so well written. I like the dialogue. I like how the story progresses. I like how it's done, the format of it. It's so much fun. I can't wait to continue on with this series. The characters are great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes. He throws in a lot of like pop culture references that I don't really get all of them, but I mean, there's a lot of biblical references in here that are like excellently done. There's like mythology references. It's so much fun and enjoyable, and I really am looking forward to continuing with this series as well. Again, hopefully it won't be too long. So now let's jump into some other just individual books that I picked up, and the first one I have is The Chosen and Beautiful by Nghi Vo. This is a kind of magical retelling of The Great Gatsby, but it follows Jordan, who is one of the kind of side characters in The Great Gatsby. She's very prominent, but she's not like Daisy or Gatsby, right? She's not one of the super main ones. And it also is like tweaked and twisted a little bit. It's definitely has its own take on the story. We read this book for the Top Shelf Society, a book club that I am a member of, and the author Nghi Vo is going to join us for the live show. It hasn't happened yet when I'm filming this, but I will probably be posting this after I have done the live show, so I will link that so you can go check that out as well. Next, I picked up a book that I actually am planning to read so I can get to another series that I have been eyeing forever because I absolutely love the covers. I'll put the first one up here. I actually don't remember the name of it, but I'll stick it up here so you can see the gorgeous cover. But the book that I picked up is Battle Mage by Stephen Arion. I was told by one of my subscribers that I should read this series before I read that next series. So I trust you guys. I trust your judgment. So I'm going to be reading this one first. first. This is the first book in an adult high fantasy series, and it follows 3 characters that are kind of involved in this war that is going on. One of them is a battle mage, so he is kind of a magician who is used in battle and good in battle. Next we have a normal foot soldier who I am guessing is probably pretty skilled. I don't know, tends to be the way it goes in these fantasy books. And next we have a princess. So I'm really interested to jump into the series. I am hoping we're going to be getting some awesome battle scenes, some really good political intrigue, and some awesome magic. That's kind of what I'm looking for here, but really I don't know what to expect out of this series. I'm interested in it. And also I just saw Jessie May hauled this in her most recent book haul as well, so that's kind of cool, and I'm hoping maybe some other people will be reading it along the same times that I am, so it'd be really fun to maybe read this series along with other people and discuss it. I think that'd be a good time, so if you're interested, let me know. The next book I just saw when I was at Barnes & Noble and it piqued my interest, so I picked it up, and that is 7 Deaths of an Empire. I really picked it up because the cover is just very unique looking. The color scheme and the way it's done, it looks really intriguing. It's by G.R. Matthews, and this book seems to be about an empire where the emperor has died, and we're following 2 characters as far as I can tell. One of them is tasked with protecting the heir to the throne, and the other one is a magician who is tasked with protecting the body of the emperor, because for some reason whoever controls the emperor's body controls the succession. So I'm really interested in starting into this. It looks like it is the first book in a series, so I don't know when I'm going to get to it, because I do kind of not enjoy starting series when the whole thing isn't out, especially when I don't know the author. I don't know if I trust them to finish the series, but it looks so interesting. It looks so intriguing, and I'm really looking forward to trying it. This book is so gorgeous. I absolutely had to have the special edition of this book, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. Look at this edition. Oh, it's so stunning and gorgeous. The teal sprayed edges and the art on the end pages is gorgeous. I like that they have, you can't really see it too well, I don't think, but they have like words on the front. We have an awesome spine. So yeah, I just love this edition of it. I think it's so stunning. It's so beautiful, and I absolutely had to have it for my read before the movie. I was supposed to join a live show for this, but then I ended up having to work, so I wasn't able to. Very sad about that, but this is just a classic sci fantasy book, and it is now being adapted into a movie, and the movie actually has come out, I think, in Europe when I'm filming this, but I'm not positive if it's coming out in America yet. I am looking forward to watching the movie though and seeing how it compares to the book. Next book is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. This was actually my subscriber pick for the month of September for me to read and vlog, and I should have posted the vlog for this before I post this book haul. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that it will go up before I post the book haul. But this is a debut novel. I would probably say it's an adult fantasy romance novel, is some kind of the vibe that you get from it. In this world, the second daughter of the queen is given to the wolf of the wilder wood to help appease him and keep the spirits of the wood at bay, or the monsters or whatever it is that comes out and starts killing the people. And we are following this second daughter whose name is Red, and she is sacrificed to this wolf, and she starts learning that what the people outside of the wood thought was going on inside the woods is not exactly what's going on inside the woods. And of course there is the romance aspect between Red and the wolf. It's honestly, I thought it would be more like a Red Riding Hood retelling because of the looks of it, but I feel like it gives me much stronger Beauty and the Beast vibes. And I also heard it compared to The Bear and the Nightingale, but when I was reading it, I thought that the feel of it was more along the lines of ACOTAR than The Bear and the Nightingale, especially the writing style and the romance aspect of it. So I think the second book in this series is actually due to come out pretty soon as well. It's called For the Throne, and I am really excited to continue with it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it might just be a duology, but I'm not positive. Next is a book that I actually pre-ordered. I think this is my only pre-order of the year so far, which is kind of crazy, and that is She Who Rides the Storm by Caitlin Sangster. The reason I picked this book up mainly is because it's blurbed by Brandon Sanderson. He says, a tightly woven fantasy heist with memorable characters and a killer premise. So I think that is very high praise from one of my absolute favorite authors. I have read a couple other books by Caitlin Sangster already, and I wasn't a huge fan of them, unfortunately, but I really have high hopes for this one. I like magical fantasy heists, and that's, I'm assuming, is what we're getting here from Brandon Sanderson's description, and I think that would be so much fun. I mean, I love Miss Bourne, I like Six of Crows. I just think that that is something, a trope that I really enjoy in books, and so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I'm thinking I'll probably get to it in November. Okay, next we are going to start talking about some books that I bought because of Booktok, and you'll notice a theme with these books. First one that I picked up is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I don't know what this is about. I think it's actually a thriller romance, but I have heard great things about Colleen Hoover. I was at the bookstore and I had like 4 books set out, and I let my husband pick which one, and this is the one that he picked. I'm actually a little surprised by it. I wouldn't have expected that, but I'm really looking forward to trying out some Colleen Hoover. I think this is going to be a great start to it, and I like the cover. It's very interesting. Next to talk about is Dark Fever by Karen Marie Moning. This is a fantasy romance series, and I think it has to do with vampires, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's fae. I think it's actually fae. That's really all I know about it. I saw Monet was reading it and gave it 5 stars. Absolutely loved it, so I'm hoping that I will as well. Next book that I picked up is Halfway to the Grave, and this one is about vampires. This is about a half vampire woman who is out for revenge and is killing vampires. Sometimes you have to fight the undead with the half-dead. Dun dun dun. So I think this is kind of an older fantasy romance. Let me see when it was published. It's from 2007, so it's a little bit older, so I'm really interested to try it out, but the cover, oh man, it's just like screams paranormal romance at you, doesn't it? I'm really looking forward to reading it though. And the last fantasy romance that I have to talk about, no, I don't know if you noticed the theme there, but it is Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. This is the first book in her, it's kind of a series, it's kind of a series of companion novels that are adult romance retellings of Disney movies. And this one is Aladdin, and we follow Jafar and Jasmine romance. So I'm really excited to try it out, and I'm going to be actually buttery reading this with Monet. So really looking forward to that. Next, I want to talk about the series continuations that I purchased, and we're just going to show all the Hobbs in one go. I actually purchased the entirety of the Rain Wild Chronicles books and the Fitz and the Fool series. So I'm going to put these down and just hold up one. I really like the covers for the Fitz and the Fool series. I think they are so pretty, and I like the foiling on them, especially this one. Like, ooh, isn't this one so pretty? It's pretty. So these are the final 2 series in the realm of the Elderlings that is out so far, at least. Fingers crossed we might get more. But the Rainwild Chronicles follows the people in the Rainwilds, the people who are with the dragons, as you can tell from the title, Dragon Keeper. I'm interested to get back to this. I am a little nervous because I didn't really love some of the characters that we are supposedly following in this series, but definitely anticipating getting back to it. It's probably going to be a lot more along the lines of the Live Ship Traders series, so I am excited about it, but I do hear that is the weakest in the realm of the Elderlings. And then we have the Fitz and the Fool series, which of course I am so excited to get to. I absolutely love Fitz and the Fool. They are some of the greatest characters of all time. I love them. I love Fitz. I love the Fool, and I cannot wait to get back to them. Yeah, Robin Hobb does an amazing job writing characters. She makes you love them. She just gives you all the feels. She can wrench your heart out, and she is not scared to just hurt you. So yeah, I love her writing so much, but it's a little traumatizing. Okay, another book that I bought is a continuation of a series that I don't know why I I did, honestly, is Knife of Dreams, book 11 of the Wheel of Time. I think I saw on my list that like the price had dropped significantly, and so I was like, hey, let's get it now. But I haven't even read book 4 yet. So this one is going to be a long time coming. It's fine. Like, we're just going to go with it. Next 2 books are a continuation in the Serpent and Doves series by Shelby Mahurin, and that is Blood and Honey and Gods and Monsters. I was going to continue reading the series with a buddy read with a couple friends from here on Booktube, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't fit it into my schedule, what with starting school and working and starting a clinic. Like, it was just a little too much, and I just couldn't make it happen. But they are such pretty covers, and I will read them eventually, just not right now. But this series follows a witch and a witch hunter who are forced into an arranged marriage, so it's kind of an enemies to lovers romance, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I didn't absolutely adore the first one, and I've heard the second one is even weaker, so I'm kind of a little bit hesitant, but I still would like to see where the series goes. Next, I picked up A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This is the 3rd book in her A Dark Shade of Magic series, and I have actually only read the first book in the series, but I would like to continue with it. I got these like exclusive collector's editions. The reason I like them that actually is just they all have the gold on the naked hardback, so that's the biggest draw for me. But I do enjoy this series. It's set in a world where there are different Londons, and only certain people can travel between the Londons. And there is Red London, which kind of has all the magic and is a very nice place. There's Grey London, which is kind of like our world London that doesn't have magic. There's White London, which is like clawing, holding on to magic and is a little more brutal, and then Black London, which has been destroyed. So I am really excited about continuing on with this series. I don't feel like I will have forgotten too much, so I'll be able to jump back to it without rereading the first one, but I just have no idea when I'm going to continue with it. And the next book that I picked up was Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. I've actually already read this, but I had it in paperback and I wanted to get the whole series in hardback, so I gave my paperback copy to my niece and I finally picked up the hardback. I was waiting for it to come back into stock on Amazon and it just never happened, so I ended up buying it from like a second party, and it's fine. I now have it. It's a middle grade series, follows this girl named Sophie who is raised in the human world, then finds out she is an elf, and there's a lot of secrets and mysteries surrounding her, and I have read the first 3 books in the series, and I will continue with it. I, again, just don't know when. Lastly, I'm just going to briefly touch on a few nonfiction books that I have. The first 2 that I'm going to talk about I actually got because I joined the Richard Branson book club. I mentioned this in my last book haul. It's because he was in Friends. But this one's The Emerald Mile, the epic story of the fastest ride in history through the heart of the Grand Canyon. I've actually heard of this one before, so I don't know. Doubt I'll read it, but my husband might. Next, we have Masters of Scale, Surprising Truths from the World's Most Successful Entrepreneurs by Reid Hoffman. Again, highly doubt I'm going to read this. I don't know why I'm a part of this book club. And the next 2 books that I picked up were Ketamine for Depression and How to Change Your Mind. So I actually have recently started a ketamine infusion clinic along with some friends of ours, and so I got these books to kind of read up a little bit. Ketamine's use to treat depression, anxiety, OCD, PTSD, chronic pain, and also psilocybin is another thing that is being researched and looked into. Yeah, I'm just kind of wanting to be a little bit more informed on that, and so I figured I'd pick up a couple books and read them in my spare time. Yeah, because I have that. So that is my book haul. Let me count how many books were in this book haul just real quick. I counted 37 books because I counted Way of Kings as one. Just saying. But yeah, that's a lot. I am hoping my next book haul won't be as large, but then again, my birthday is in October, so it could be huge. I'm okay with that though. I love buying books for my birthday and getting books for my birthday, so I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, let me know which of these books you think I should prioritize, which one you think I will love the most out of all the books in this stack, and let me know if there's any of these that you love and you've read and you would highly recommend. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!